My name is Brianna Law. My husband's name is Kevin. Our youngest is Georgia. She's our heart warrior. We had a normal birth and delivery and normal pregnancy. We had kind of signs all along that things weren't exactly right. Her 1 month checkup, I kind of was thinking that something was up, but had no idea what was about to be thrown at us. The doctor came in and we're kind of talking and just telling her I was a little bit worried about the weight gain and a couple of other things, and she stuck the stethoscope to Georgia's heart, and I just remember the look on her face. She didn't want to lead on that something big was going on, so she said to me, hey, I'm gonna go and get us a cardiology appointment scheduled. You know it's not good when you get a cardiology appointment for the very next day. And I just remember walking through those doors, I thought, we need to take a picture, because I have a feeling this is the beginning of a journey for us. We were given her diagnosis that day. They confirmed that she did have a complete atrioventricular septal defect. You know, there are these moments in our lives that define us. They say there's 5 of them in your life or something, and I feel like that was definitely one of those moments for me as a mother, and it's radically changed who I am. They said, yeah, we think you're gonna need to go ahead and go on into the hospital. So we went in. I left everybody in the middle of the night, told my husband, I think this is gonna be a couple of days, we'll be in and out. Left everybody and didn't even tell my children bye or anything, because I just thought this was just gonna be a couple of days thing maybe. I left and didn't come back home for 77 days. At 2 months old, she went in for her first open heart surgery. And like I said, typically we're not going in until 6 months. So we were told, this is not an ideal situation, but this is really the only option that Georgia's left us. We got to do it. So, okay. We went in June of that year. We thought okay, this is it. This is the end of this part of our journey, and we're going to have this wholehearted child, and we're going to start this journey for healing. And she ended up failing her extubation 3 or 4 times. So we made the really difficult decision as a last-ditch effort. We had her transferred for a second open heart surgery, and really our odds at that point were not really great for her survival. It was really pretty scary. I mean, we'd had moments before where we were really faced with her mortality, and really, even the doctors, it was the first time where the doctors were telling us, it's not looking good and you need to prepare yourself for the worst. So we went in and we did the surgery, and the surgeon came in. I'll never forget it, because he looked at me and he said, I'm so sorry. He's like, if I would have known that her surgery could have gone that well, I wouldn't have scared you so bad. And this literally was a best case scenario for her heart surgery. And we've also had a couple of other diagnoses along the way. So we had to get her a heart cath to fix another defect that we've discovered, which she did well through. And we've also discovered that she has congenital scoliosis. So she had to go in for surgery for that, and had to go in and remove a hemovertebra. As of late, we've been fighting a spine infection as a complication to her surgery. But she's just one of the most amazing kids you'd ever meet. You wouldn't know that she's been through everything that her little body has been through in her life. She's a little princess. She wears her princess dress just about everywhere she goes now. She's just an absolute joy, and running and jumping and keeping up with her siblings and riding scooters and tricycles all over the house. And one of the things you get as a heart mom all the time, you're super mom, right? Like God must have known that you were ultra capable, and I'm not super anything. I just this baby who's pretty super in my opinion, landed in my lap, and I had to rise to the occasion, right? But what we don't talk about is that we really are asked to do superhuman things. It's not normal to live off of 15-minute increments of sleep for 77 days. It's not normal to watch your child almost die in front of your eyes and have to say goodbye to them multiple times. It's not normal to pack your child up for a life flight that they may or may not survive and watch them be medically paralyzed and transported across the state in a jet. None of those things are normal, and none of those things are things that, it kind of does make us a little bit superhuman for a short time, but humans aren't meant to live that way. It comes at a huge cost to our well-being. It's worth it. I'd do it 1,000 times over, but there's a cost to that. And what the Healing Hearts Project has been for me is sort of a trail guide, because really there's no one in my life that's been through anything like we've been through as a family. I'll never forget the day that I crashed. We were faced with Georgia's mortality for the very first time, and I realized there's a real possibility that I'm gonna walk out of this hospital without my baby in my arms. And it was Mother's Day, and I've been in the hospital for about 10 days at this point, and we were struggling. And Stacy Merritt walks in with a plate of food from Simply Sarah's and a care package, of which was a lifeline for me at the moment, because, like I said, I left in the middle of the night with nothing. So in walks this mom who's a homeschooling mom who has 4 children and who's also a heart mom and has walked down this road, and she just sat with me. She didn't really say anything, or she just sat with me and she just checked in with me. And I remember 2 of the things that I got in that care package that were the biggest blessing was this stupid towel that I used the entire time I was at Wilson's, and air deodorizer. Those were the 2 things that I couldn't have lived without, but nobody else would have known to bring that to me, and I wouldn't have known to ask for them. You're just kind of in this world where you just are, it's everything that you can do to keep your kid alive. It's everything that you can do to survive. You can't really think about what your needs are. The Healing Hearts Project was really what was keeping us going, and there's just something about moms who've walked this journey a little bit ahead of us, who can speak truth into our hearts the way that nobody else can. I was struggling with my emotional health. If it weren't for the people that I had in support groups, moms, I probably would have never had the courage to get help. They pointed me in the direction of some good resources, and also told me it's okay to feel like you're falling apart, because you should be. This really sucks. We've been there, kind of thing. And the Healing Hearts Project and the work that they do really gave me the courage to do that. I want someone else, some other mom or some other dad that's sitting in that hospital not knowing what to do. I want a Stacy Merritt to walk through the door with a care package, and I want them to have the support of other parents to guide them along the way and encourage them, because that was just indispensable for us. The thing is that when you have a heart child, it's a lifelong thing, and it's hard for your support group to be able to sustain you through things like that. And it's a beautiful thing when you have an organization like the Healing Hearts Project, who is set up and knows those families and knows their needs. So it's just nice to have somebody who's aware, all the time aware of what your family is going through, and can find ways to serve you and do things all along that. I think our family gives because it's important to us that everyone has access to that support, because it's invaluable for families like ours.